How are you watching this video? Is it through Google Chrome? Or have you opted for Firefox? Or are you perhaps just using the default browser installed on your PC? Safari or Microsoft Edge, anyone? In fact, how many of you have actually thought about what browser you're using and what that means for your privacy or broader browsing experience? While you're mulling that over, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Guy, and last year I did a review on the Brave browser and its basic attention token. Since then, there have been a plethora of updates that have propelled the technology and compelled me to revisit it. So in this video, I'll be looking at some of these most important updates. I'll also be analysing the implications of this for BAT and the broader ecosystem. Therefore, be sure to stick around till the very end for my personal take. Before I get going, there are a few things to get out of the way. Firstly, Guy ain't nobody's financial advisor. Everything I say should merely be used as an educational supplement for your own research. And secondly, if you're new to the Bureau, a very warm welcome. You may want to hit up that subscribe button and ping that bell. I release these regularly, so this way you can get them while they're hot. Anyways, enough of that. Back to Brave and BAT. Now, for those of you who are already fully clued up on what Brave is, feel free to skip ahead with the timestamps I've provided below. But if you're hearing about it for the first time, I think a short overview is in order. In a nutshell, Brave is a web browser that focuses on both speed and privacy. It blocks all unnecessary advertisements or trackers that could either impede on your browsing experience or spy on your browsing preferences. It is fully open source and was built on top of the Chromium web browser. When browsing with Brave, any information required for ad tracking purposes is blocked. All of your browsing data remains locally on your machine and it is in your full control. Your data is your asset. But of course, what use is an asset if you can't monetize it? That's where Brave rewards and the basic attention token, BAT, come in. Essentially, you can earn BAT tokens by viewing ads. But not just any ads. Ads that are highly personalized to you based on your browsing data. Advertisers pay BAT in order to serve these ads to you. They are getting more bang for their buck than with traditional ads as they know that it's going to the right target audience. There's also another stakeholder in the Brave ecosystem, and that is the content creators or publishers. They can get tipped in BAT by users for the content that they produce. Content creators like me, for example. This is basically the crux of the Brave browser and the BAT ecosystem. Of course, this is a much more simplified overview, so if you want the full review, be sure to watch my video on the topic right here. Anyways, now you have a vague idea of what Brave and BAT are doing, but how well have they been doing it? Pretty damn well, to be honest. In November of last year, they released Brave 1.0 and the first fully featured Brave browser went live. It had already been in beta release before that and had over 8.7 million monthly active users. With the release of Brave 1.0, some of the most important features of the browser were brought to the fore. These included Brave rewards to support their favourite content creators, Brave ads that pay for your attention, Brave shields for automatic ad and tracker blocking. Let's quickly touch on each one of these in turn, shall we? As mentioned, the Brave rewards allows content creators to earn some returns for pushing great content. They're able to embed Brave banners on their sites or channels, which then allow users to quickly send them BAT right in from their browser. There have already been over 470,000 verified content creators registering for Brave rewards, including some really well-known publications. Hang on a sec, is that 50 Cent? Yes it is. 50 Cent is a verified Brave creator. Get BAT or die trying. Anyways, when it comes to the Brave ads, this is the feature that allows users to earn BAT for viewing these ads. These are privacy-preserving ads though. The advertiser does not know anything about the viewer apart from that they are paying for their attention. There has been large uptick here as well. Over 500 ad campaigns from companies such as Intel, Pizza Hut and Home Chef. Finally, you have those Brave shields. This feature basically allows the user to block those pesky ads and trackers. Given that these invasive ads are being blocked, it also means that Brave loads sites much faster than traditional browsers, up to 6 times faster by some estimates. You also have numerous memory and battery saving features. Now, all this sounds well and good, but have the results been borne out? Well, within 1 month of Brave 1.0 launching, there were already over 10 million monthly active users browsing with Brave. The growth rate here is also pretty impressive. It doubled in over a year, and the trend seems to be in one direction. In fact, in March of this year, Brandon Ike, the co-founder of Brave, revealed that they had over 12.2 million monthly active users. And when it comes to those performance improvements, the Brave developers have been doing some testing on version 1.0. In January of this year, they ran a number of benchmarking tests comparing the Brave browser to those of their closest competitors. I've linked to this full analysis below if you're interested in the methodology. But just based on the results, Brave appears to have been shooting the lights out. Using Brave saved seconds on every single page load, while reducing memory use by hundreds of megabytes. The differences were even more stark for the mobile browser, as Brave realized a 30 to 50% saving in both bandwidth and battery power. Apart from performance, there's also strong evidence that Brave beats other browsers when it comes to privacy-preserving features. For example, in a study at Trinity University, 6 different browsers were examined to determine how much info was leaked. Private info such as the IP addresses and the web pages previously visited. The researchers looked at Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Brave, Edge and Yandex. Behavior of the browser was then studied when it was freshly installed, on a browser restart and after pasting and typing in the URL. I've linked to the full study below, but the crux of it is that Brave comes out on top. Yes, there are privacy-enhancing settings that the other browsers have, but these required user experience to set up. Anyways, the release of version 1.0 was no doubt a formative moment for Brave, but is by no means conclusive. There are a number of other updates and features that have been added since. So, let's take a look at some of them. 404 errors. I'm sure you've got them before. They are the bane of my existence. Just when I think I found a relevant page for a query, I get that dreaded response. So, I was particularly intrigued when I heard that Brave had partnered with the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine. For those that don't know, the Wayback Machine has archived over 900 billion URLs and more than 400 billion web pages. This means that you can see all previously live links and sites. You can also see what a website looked like a number of years back. This is of course highly relevant for 404 errors because if a URL was linked to, it was live at some point. So you can see exactly what was on the URL before it went down. What Brave will allow you to do in the browser is to check whether there is an archived version of the page. So if you come to a 404 error, then you can quickly check what was previously there. This beats copying the URL and pasting it in the Wayback Machine. Oh, and this doesn't only apply to 404 errors. The system will work with a whole host of other errors that you sometimes get. All in all, a smoother browsing experience even when presented with those pesky errors. Moving on though, there is another feature that has recently been included that I just have to share. If you're watching this video, then there is a good chance that you trade cryptocurrencies. You'll no doubt have accounts at a particular crypto exchange. If you have a Binance account, Brave is now taking you one step closer to your trading. This is through the newly released Binance widget that will be integrated in the Brave browser. This will allow Brave users to access their Binance accounts, buy and sell crypto assets, view asset balances, and obtain deposit addresses, all without leaving the browser. And given that this is built into the Brave browser, it's not loaded like an iframe. None of your private browsing data will be exposed. Pretty slick, right? So, we know that the browser is no doubt an impressive piece of kit, but what about the broader BAT ecosystem? Well, firstly, if you're using the Brave browser and you've not activated Brave rewards, you're leaving money on the table. These rewards are a pivotal component of the basic attention token economy. When you have your Brave rewards activated, you will be paid for the attention that you provide. You will earn 70% of the reward in BAT tokens, and the other 30% will go towards the Brave development costs. Advertisers have already started paying for the attention of Brave users. In fact, even just opening up the Brave browser gives you an opportunity to earn some BAT. This is because Brave will now be running sponsored images. These are basically the images that are presented on a new tab that you open on the Brave browser. Companies can pay in order to have their images featured here, and those Brave users that view them can earn those juicy rewards. Okay, so you want to give it a try? All you need to do is activate your Brave rewards. This can be done right over here to the right of the URL bar. You can then follow the steps in order to activate your wallet. And that is only one side of the crypto coin. Are you a content creator, perhaps a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber? Maybe you run a website or personal blog. By becoming a verified content creator, you can integrate Brave rewards on your platform of choice. Users can then ping you back whenever they found your content helpful. It's a pretty rewarding ecosystem, to be honest, and most users tend to appreciate hard-working creators. Sounds like something you'd be interested in? Well, just head on over to the Brave Creators webpage and sign up. Once you have an account, you can link your platform to the BAT ecosystem. It's that simple. Your followers can now send you tips right there in the browser. So, I've been doing a hell of a lot of talking about BAT without explaining exactly what it is. Forgive me, but here is a short overview. The basic attention token is an ERC20 token that was issued on the Ethereum blockchain. This means that you can use any Ethereum-compatible wallet to store these BAT tokens, not just the one in the browser. BAT is also listed on a plethora of exchanges and is easy enough to convert to either other crypto or fiat currency. My personal preferences are the likes of Coinbase Pro, Binance and Kraken, but you have a pretty sizable range over there to use. And speaking of Binance, you'll also have that Binance widget integration, which will allow you to swap your BAT without even having to visit any exchange. Now, there's a total supply of 1.5 billion BAT and a circulating supply of a bit less than that. While this is a pretty large supply, it is limited. Why is this important, you ask? Well, it means small denomination payments can be made well into the future. Take a look at Bitcoin, for example. If you're tipping someone with Bitcoin, it will generally only be mere fractions of a Bitcoin given the price of one coin. This is not really practical and can become unwieldy. This is, of course, also putting aside the fact that Bitcoin transactions take quite some time to propagate. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What do I think about the price? Well, BAT is a utility token that powers a decentralized ecosystem. So the price will fundamentally be driven by a balance of supply and demand. The more users that are offering up their attention, the more advertisers will want to pay for it. All else equal, an increased demand for BAT tokens from these advertisers could lead to an increased price. Already we've seen a number of advertisers serving ads on the Brave browser, and this is only likely to increase given the prevalence of online ad blockers. Their ads are just not getting served on traditional browsers. Now, earning BAT rewards is only one reason as to why you should be using the Brave browser. But another really important reason is because of what the Brave team is doing for online privacy in general. It's not just enough to release a privacy-enhancing browser and hope for the best. Sometimes we have to keep the power of others in check, and this is exactly what the Brave team is doing. One particularly relevant example is that of their recent submission to the UK Competition and Markets Authority. Basically, in their complaint, they show that failing to enforce GDPR in the UK facilitates Google's monopoly. I won't bore you with all the details here, but basically it hinges on 2 articles in the GDPR legislation that have not been enforced. This has allowed the company to operate an internal data free-for-all which cross-uses the personal data from many of its disparate services. Not only that, but in March of this year, Dr. Johnny Ryan from Brave filed a formal GDPR complaint against Google. It'll be interesting to see how they will respond, but the complaint is a great way to get them to open up on how they're using our data. Anyways, credit to the Brave team for being everyone's David facing off against this Goliath. And speaking of data privacy, Brave also uncovered another pretty pervasive tactic being used by large companies. Here in the UK, companies have been able to track the usage by citizens of numerous council websites. Websites used by people to get information on dealing with disabilities, addiction and poverty. I know, a pretty dastardly move if you ask me. Essentially, nearly all council websites permit at least one company to learn about the behaviours of people who visit them. There are 198 council websites in the UK that use real-time bidding advertising, and 23 councils allow data brokers to profile their users. Why is this important? Well, if someone visits a council website seeking help on a pertinent problem, their visit is being logged and their query being noted. Companies will then use that information to retarget the user in some way later down the line. Think about someone visiting a council website for an alcohol addiction. A data broker could share that information with a for-profit rehabilitation clinic. Or perhaps even worse, some company that's hawking untested medication said to treat addiction. Scary, right? It's a really fascinating study, so I encourage you to read it, and it's linked to below. That's it for all the updates, but I wanted to just give you a few of my final thoughts on the project. As you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of the Brave browser and privacy-enhancing tech in general. In a world of increased surveillance and monopoly power in tech, our privacy is becoming an ever scarcer resource. Who would have thought that something as simple as the type of browser that you use could have such a large impact on what data you're sharing? Yes, you can use private browsing models in other browsers, but they're not default and they are nowhere near as efficient as the Brave browser. As is evidenced by that benchmarking study, Brave is way more efficient than other browsers and reduces unnecessary resource usage on your PC. So, a privacy, efficiency and functionality trifecta. I'm also excited to see the rapid growth of the broader Brave ecosystem. It's blossoming into this organic attention marketplace that many had hoped for. Users, creators and advertisers realize the advantage of consensual and well-targeted ads combined with high-quality content. This network growth is no doubt also a boon for BAT as more participants start using it as intended. It's already a well-supported token, and with the Binance integration widget, another effortless exchange option will be opened. And apart from the tech and the rewards, I like what the team is doing. I get the sense that they are on our side and are genuine in their intentions. This is something that they have indeed proven with their research into online tracking and their tangle with Google about GDPR. Moreover, Brave development is being led by Brendan Eich, perhaps one of the best suited individuals around. Creator of JavaScript and co-founder of Mozilla, he knows a thing or two about browsers. And that, ladies and gents, is my update on Brave and BAT. Now tell me, what do you guys think of Brave? Do you have any questions for me? I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Finally, if you think this video was helpful, then help a brother out. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Much more will be on the way very soon. Okay guys, I have to level with you. There was a lot more that I wanted to cover, but sadly, time was just not on my side. But this is exactly the reason that I have my weekly newsletter. It's basically a window into my crypto world where I share market insights, hidden news, and juicy tips. Wanna join? Top stuff! Just check out the link to my sign-up form in the description below. Enter your email, hit submit, and hey presto, you are a Coin Bureau insider. You may be in time for my next mailer, which you don't want to miss. See you guys soon.